Everyone, my name is Komang Ayu and today I would like to present my topic entitled Quadratic Equation and Function. Quadratic equations are one of the most important topics in algebra. They help us understand the relationship between variables and describe many real-world situations such as motion, engineering, and optimization. In this presentation, I will explain the basic concept of quadratic equations, discuss their application in everyday life, and demonstrate how to read several mathematical expressions related to quadratic equations. Now, let's begin with the definition of a quadratic equation. And next, what is a quadratic equation? First, let us understand the meaning of a quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is an equation with a variable raised to the power of 2, forming a parabola when it is grasped. The standard form of a quadratic equation is a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals 0, where a is not equal to 0. There are several important parts of a quadratic function. The first is the roots, which are the x value where the parabola crosses the x-axis. The second is the vertex, which is the highest or the lowest point of the parabola depending on whether the graph opens downward or upward. The last is the discriminant, written as b squared minus 4ac. The discriminant tells us how many real roots the quadratic equation has. The graph on this slide illustrates a parabola with its vertex and 2 roots. Okay, next, where quadratic are used. Now let's look at some application of a quadratic equation. The first application is projectile motion. The path of a thrown ball, a rocket, or any object moving under gravity follows a parabolic curve, which can be modeled using a quadratic function. And then the second application is business and profit. Companies use quadratic equation to determine the selling price that maximizes profit or minimize production cost. And then the third application is architecture. Parabolic arch and bridge are designed using quadratic curves because they distribute weight efficiently and provide structural stability. And then the last application is satellite dishes. Satellite dishes use the shape of a parabola to collect and focus signal at a single receiving point, improving communication quality. And these examples show that quadratic equations are not only important in mathematics, but also in science, engineering, business, and technology. And then we learn about quadratic expression. The first expression is the standard form. The equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. The second expression is the quadratic formula. The formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This formula is used to find the roots or solutions of a quadratic equation. And then the third expression is the vertex form. The equation is y equals 8 times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. This form helps us identify the vertex of the parabola directly and makes it easier to grasp the quadratic function. These mathematical expressions are fundamental in algebra and are widely used to solve quadratic problems. Okay, this is the end of my presentation about quadratic equation and function. And today we learned the definition of quadratic equation, identified its important parts such as the roots, vertex, and discriminant, explored several real-life applications, and practiced really common quadratic expression. I hope this presentation has helped you understand the importance of quadratic equation and how they are applied in mathematics and everyday life. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a great day.